Shalom, family. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. Welcome to Tuesday's class. Get started here in a moment. Brothers and sisters, a little second to jump on. Shalom to Chanel. Peace and blessings. All is well. Give brothers and sisters a chance to jump in here. We're going to get started. All right. How everybody doing? You doing good, bro?
Yeah, doing good, bro.
Oh, praises. Let's get brothers and sisters a moment. We'll jump right into it. All praise to the Most High. Title of today's class: The Lasting Psychological Effects. So today we're going to be examining how hatred, slavery, all the things that happen to our nation, how that impacts us, how it affects the children of Israel today. All right. Let's go ahead and send up prayers.
All right, it's returning face to east. Man, uncup your hands.
One second.
Okay.
One second. Get this situated real quick for me. All right, let's go.
All right, men in visual. Standing face to east. Women of Israel also. Men, uncover your heads. Women, cover your heads. Men of Israel, blow trumpet. The Lord hear thee in the day of trouble. The name of the God of Jacob defend thee. Send thee help from the sanctuary and strengthen thee out of Zion. Remember all thy offerings and accept thy burnt sacrifice, Salah. Grant thee according to thine own heart and fulfill all thy counsel. We will rejoice in thy salvation, and in the name of our God we will set up our banners. The Lord fulfill all thy petitions. Now know I that the Lord saveth his anointed. He will hear him from his holy heaven with the saving strength of his right hand. Some trusted in chariots and some in horses, but we will remember the name of the Lord our God. Heavenly Father, we come to you today and we ask you for repentance and forgiveness for our sins, Lord. The God of Israel, Father, the only God of the earth, Lord. We give you praises. Lord, I ask that you be with the teacher and reader, that your word goes forth as always and heal the nation of Israel, Lord. Christ, we always pray in your name, your worthy name. Amen.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for that prayer. So we're gonna talk about the lasting effects of this oppression. Lasting effects of this oppression. Now, many a times we've gone through the extent of the captivities and things of that nature. And what I like to do in going through is try to do a diligent enough search or examination of the things that we've been through to kind of bring that mindset to the people, the understanding to the people, right? So in 586 BC, Judah was taken into captivity, right? Taken into captivity. In Babylon, and the temple was destroyed, right? Our nobility, our royalty, everything. We was humiliated in the sight of the nations, in the sight of all people. Now, being humiliated amongst your peers, how does that affect you? You ever been humiliated in front of your peers, bro?
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
It's embarrassing. Okay. What else?
Man, it humbles you for a certain point, it's like, yeah, I can't explain it.
So, trauma of being exiled from your own land. This your land. This your homeland. trauma of being removed from your own. Doesn't that affect you?
Yeah.
Probably makes you angry every day. Like, I can't even imagine what Gad and them think, or how Gad and them feel, man. I was just looking at some land in I think it was New Mexico, and it's on the Indian reservation in New Mexico, right? And it's very cheap, like 24 grand or something, like very cheap land. But I'm like, hold on, I thought you couldn't like buy land on the reservation. Like, I thought this was their land. I thought this was what they own. But they're constantly being removed from lands, and this is the only land they've known. They can't even remember being in the land of Israel. Our foreparents that was brought here through the diaspora and things of that nature, we can't even remember being in the land of Israel. And we only can remember being told we came from Africa. That's the only thing that we can remember because we were told, and history proves that. So to be moved around even in this, like today, like even in this time, man, that trauma of exile is still ever present, is it not?
Yeah.
That forced servitude, us being reduced to slave. We were righteous. We were the best. We was the top. We were royalty. We were nobility. When you read about heraldry and you read about nobility, and you look at those books where it has the images of these shields and things of that nature with the family names and family crests and all those things, that was us. We started that trend. I got many of books showing that we started those things. You know, you seen those shields with the family crest and the family name and stuff like that on there.
Yeah. So
to be brought from that to servitude, and you see the people that stole your stuff benefiting and flourishing. I know it makes you angry, right?
It's like, how have we reached a low point, man? Well, we know how we reached this point, but it's like, man,
how far we fallen.
Yeah.
And it don't even go. It goes further than that. It ain't even enough for them. They mock even our faith. They call you Black Hebrew Israelites. They mock even your faith. They mock your God. They forced us to bow down to their idols and worship their garbage. And then they mock your God, Black Hebrew Israelites. And then you know what? You know what the bad part about it is? The worst part about it? Our people, they take that and run with it. Oh, they the Black Hebrew Israelites. That's madness. Okay? They mock us. Give me Daniel 3. Let's get some examples of that mocking.
It's the book of Daniel, chapter 3 and verse 3. Then the princes, the governors and captains, the judges, the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the provinces were gathered together unto the dedication of the image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up.
So Nebuchadnezzar the king set up an image, and all the rulers, they came to do what? To dedicate it. You know, much like we dedicated the temple. They came to dedicate this daggone image, this idol. Watch this. Again, this is straight mockery, straight in our face. Come on.
And they stood before the image that Nebuchadnezzar had set up. Then an herald cried aloud, "To you it is commanded, O people, nations, and languages, that at what time you hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, dulcimer, and all kinds of music, you fall down and worship the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king has set up."
So when you hear these sounds, when you hear the national anthem, when you hear the national anthem, you bow down and you worship the image that the king has set up. This ain't nothing new. The national anthem, what people do? They bow their heads, they put their heart over their hand to bow and make, you know what I'm saying? And then the music, they start singing the song, the anthem that everybody worships to. They even force people, the children in school to do that thing. Do they still do that now? I don't know. I've been out of school too long. I don't know if they still do it. But they used to make us stand and sing the national anthem and do the Pledge of Allegiance. We pledged our allegiance to this place, under God, indivisible. Okay, the Pledge of Allegiance. Y'all had to do that when you was coming up?
Yeah, and the Texas honor the Texas flag. We had a dope time.
All kinds of flags. So whatever image the king set up, guess what? You worship that thing. That's mockery straight in your face. Straight in your face. But our people, hey, they just do it. It's whatever. They love it. Come on.
Verse 6. And whoso falleth not down and worshipeth shall the same hour be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace.
And whosoever don't follow directions, you're going to be cast down in the fiery furnace. You're going to be burned to death. You're going to be burned to death. Okay? Much mockery. But again, that goes into the psychological effect of our oppression, because with them making us bow down, with them making us affirm or vow or pledge our allegiance, what are we doing? We're pledging our allegiance to them and not to God. We're pledging our allegiance to their customs and not to the Most High. We're in misery in this place. In misery. Because misery loves company. But what happens is our people are so adaptive. We're like chameleons. Even in misery, we make pleasure out of misery. Don't we?
Yeah.
We bring or try to find any good thing out of something bad or out of something evil. It's just something in us to do that. And I don't understand why. It's like we always try to make the best out of a bad situation or out of garbage. Something good or something righteous out of trash, out of nothing. We're in misery. We lost our freedom. We done lost who we are, lost our heritage. We done lost everything. And then in that loss, we act as though we good. We like to suppress things as a people. That's why it's a lot of garbage that go on in our families that's left unspoken, that's left unsaid. A lot of evils that happen to the children, to the adults. A lot of stuff that happens, or a lot of stuff that should be spoken about or should be said, is not, because we hide or compress our true feelings. We're in misery. Misery. Anytime somebody can lie on you, or somebody can hate you to the point where they'll deliver you up to the government and say, this man is a blasphemer, kill him. And they actually kill him. He did no wrong, he did no evil. The rulers found no evil in that man, they still killed that man. Man, misery. Being ruled by, listen, I know going into your job, you don't want to hear what your boss got to say. You don't want to hear what your supervisor talking about. You don't care about that. Man, misery. Give me Lamentations 1. I hate this place. People be like, well, leave this place. Guess what? You can't leave these nations. No matter where you go, you can't leave them. When I say I hate this place, I hate this earth, and I ain't gonna kill myself. Because that's the only way to escape this earth is death. That's it. The only way to get away from these people for the time being is to get dead. I ain't ready to go yet. I got some work to do. We got work to do. You know how people be like, man, if you don't like this place so much, then leave. Where you gonna go? Where you gonna go where Esau's wine is not spread? Where the lies of the heathens. I mean, say you go to Africa. You know how much garbage they worship over there?
And all the nations over there too.
You go to Asia. Right, and all the nations over there. All the nations over there. Where you going to escape? That's why the flea doctrine I never understood that. I never understood the flea doctrine, because where you going to go? Whither will you go? Right? Lamentations 1:1.
It's the book of Lamentations, chapter 1 and verse 1. How doth the city sit solitary that was full of people?
No, so solitary is empty, right?
Mm-hmm.
Solitary is completely empty. How does the city sit solitary that was full of people? It was full. Now it's dirt and nothing. And it was like that for a while. How was that great city become solitary? Y'all listen, y'all, that's not a miserable thought in your mind. We over here battling this, trying to scrape together crumbs to get land, to do our own right, to be righteous on our own land. Well, our land, which was once full, is now solitary. Come on.
How doth the city sit solitary that was full of people? How has she become as a widow? She that was great among the nations and princess among the provinces. How has she become tributary?
So we become as widows. When a widow becomes a widow, she loses her head, her hedge, her protection, her Lord, her guide, her governor, her everything, her counselor. We become like that. We've lost everything. It says, how has she become tributary? Now, instead of people paying tribute to us, nations paying homage or paying tribute to us, we're paying them. We used to tax the nations. Now the nation's taxing us. They tearing us up too, man. They tearing us up, man. Come on.
Verse 2. She weepeth sore in the night, and her tears are on her cheeks. Among all her lovers, she had none to comfort her.
Amongst all her lovers. And that's the thing. If you flee, you fleeing amongst your lovers. They can't comfort you. No matter where you go, guess what? Your lovers are there. You lay with them, you follow them, you led by their doctrine, they can't comfort you. You can't flee nowhere. These curses, they gonna overtake you and they gonna follow you, pursue you wherever you go. Whether you go to Zanzibar or Bangkok, Thailand, they right there with you. They ain't going nowhere. If you go to daggone Dubai or Djibouti, the curses and that oppression is following you wherever you go, wherever you reside. You're gonna find it. Okay? You're gonna find it. Come on.
All her friends have dealt treacherously with her. They are become her enemies.
So we got frenemies. We got frenemies everywhere we go. Y'all see that? Our so-called friends have dealt treacherously with us. They became our enemies. No, they were always our enemies. We just called them our friends. That's a part of the psychological effects of oppression. We right now call these nations our friends. We want to befriend every one of the nations, and they're our enemies. They hate our guts. They hate our guts. Name me one nation outside the 12 tribes that love us. Don't worry, I'll wait. One that have our best interests at heart. That's always been advocates for the nation of Israel. Name me one. You won't find it. Okay, come on.
Verse 3. Judah is going into captivity because of affliction and because of great servitude. She dwelleth among the heathen. She findeth no rest. All her persecutors overtook her between the straits.
All her persecutors overtook her between the straits. She finds no rest, no hope, ain't got no friends, none of that. None of that. Judah's miserable because of the loss of her freedom, the loss of her liberty. Right? From there, give me and again, as they take away our freedom, do they take it away nicely?
Nah, they make you go through something.
Huh?
They take you through some rough times.
Take you through some rough times, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as they take you through those times, they mock you all the way through. They make mockery of us the whole way through, don't they? Give me Psalms 137 and 1.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 137 and verse 1. By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down Yea, we wept when we remembered Zion.
So we was in captivity. We sat down by the rivers in Babylon, and we thought about Zion. We thought about our land. We thought about the misery we were in. We thought about the loss of our freedoms. We thought about being forced to bow down to idols. We thought about that forced servitude. We thought about the trauma of being exiled. We thought about all those things, being removed from our land. As we sat in Babylon, we wept, we mourned, we were upset. Okay, we were angry, much like we are today. It's a lot of brothers and sisters that's angry with what's going on today. When you truly feel the effects of your captivity, when you feel the effects of your bondage, man, that thing hit different, don't it? It hit different. When you can't afford to feed your family and you starving and your ribs is really touching, that thing hit different, don't it? When there's nothing that you can do to get ahead or get above, no matter how much you work, how well you do, how great you perform, you can do 10 times, 50 times better than the next nation, and you still can't get ahead. You still feel like you're on the bottom, the dregs of society. When you're in that position, that thing hit real different, don't it? It's a different feeling. So as we consider those feelings, we go through lasting psychological traumas, lasting effects that actually we pass on through our children into their children. And it's a perpetuating, like, I don't know, it's a disability almost. In the way you think, how you perform, how you see yourself, how you see your nation, how you see your people. We pass those things along. I know y'all seen that. You seen it before, right?
Yeah, I mean that's the whole thing about you talking about having joy in your condition. You know, we're in the worst parts of the world, but we try to make it seem like it's something to to be a part of. I'm from this hood, I'm from that hood.
See, America got this thing where they push that they're great. Well, we know this place is great. We know this is one of the worst places to dwell in on this earth. We know it. One of the worst atrocities that's happened in this place, the genocide of the nation of Israel, and the chattel slavery and things. We know the evil that's here. But what we do is they'll give us a narrative and we push it. They'll tell you what to think, how to think, and that's what we think, and that's how we think, and that's how they were able to overtake us in slavery and things of that nature. They'll give us a narrative and we'll run with it. We'll forsake our own eyes and run with their narrative. That's crazy. That's crazy, right? I'm gonna give you an example. I was watching some football the other day. And it's two young guys competing against each other to see who's better. One is a prominent Judite brother from a famous father, and one is white adjacent. He's Hawaiian, but he's white adjacent. He's lighter than us and look more like them. So guess what they're gonna go with? Who's ever white adjacent. Now, the one that has a prominent father, he played way better than the one that was white adjacent. They never praised the one that was raised by the athletic father, but they praised the one, even though the one that was white adjacent and made so many mistakes, they praised him and say he did excellent. Meanwhile, the one that looked like you and I, okay, he did way better, light years better. But they still trying to suppress the brother in the carnal sense. This is what goes on the day-to-day. And this always has happened. This has always happened. Okay? They will always suppress us to big themselves, to raise them up. And it don't even have to be of their nation. That's the point. It don't even have to be of their own lineage, their own blood. If they're white adjacent, that's what they're going to do. They're going to push them to the top. Meanwhile, we're working 15 times better, 30 a million times more efficient. And what happens to us? We get pushed to the back. We in the back. We on the sideline. looking crazy. Being mad, being upset. Because guess what? We know we're better than them. We know we're better than them. Okay? So as we sit here and we feel the effects of captivity, we feel the effects of the hatred and all those things, we got to understand something. Those things affect us psychologically. And they have lasting effects that we sometimes push and portray on our children. We got to watch ourselves. We got to watch ourselves. We got to acknowledge who we are, acknowledge what we're going through, and guess what? We got to teach our children what's going on to prepare them so that they ain't just sitting there mad, man. They ain't just sitting there upset. You got something, bro?
No.
From there. Continue on. We ain't done yet.
It's the book of Psalms, the 137 and verse 2. We hanged our harps upon the willows in the midst thereof. For there they that carried us away captive required of us a song.
So we hung our harps. Like we ain't singing no more. What we singing about? What are we singing about? What songs we singing? What songs are we singing? We hung our harps. But guess what? They say, no, nigga. I mean, no, pick them harps up. And we want y'all to sing. Not only are we going to enslave you, we want you to sing. Be merry, be joyful. Sing that song you were singing when you was ruling in your land. Sing those songs when you was royalty. To mock us. Sing about your God again as I whoop your back. Hold on. Let me hear that song again about the God that's gonna redeem you out of your captivity. Let me hear that thing again. How I go? That's how they mock us, man. Now pick that harp up. Sing me that song. And what do our people do? We shuck, we jive, we coon, we tap dance, and we sing them songs, don't we? We sing them songs. We sing the songs they want to hear, not the true songs. So we got to get back to singing them true songs. Come on.
And they that wasted us required of us myrrh. Sing us one of the songs of Zion.
Sing us one of the songs you were singing in your land. Remember when you were royalty? Remember when your God was actually fighting for you? Sing me one of them songs. Man, y'all don't hear the condescending tone in that? Come on.
Verse 4. How shall we sing this Lord's song in a strange land?
How are we going to sing our song? How are we going to be joyful? How are we going to sing with mirth and gladness and we're in a strange land? But the nations want us to sing them songs. Yeah, remember when y'all was up? Y'all ain't up now. Look at that. Hey, matter of fact, I'm going to give you some songs to sing. You know what they do? They will make sure that the worst, most ratchet, most ghetto, most deadly songs we hear. Those are the only songs we hear. Kill a nigga, shoot a nigga, hate a nigga, boot a nigga. That's the songs we hear. Got this, hold this woman, this, get this woman, get this. That's all we hear. Shoot them up, bang, bang. That's all we hear, right? You know who produced them songs? You know who controls the distribution of them songs? You got it right. Your oppressors. Yeah, they decide what you listening to. You think you like this artist because you like that artist and like the music and like the beats. You like it because they told you to like it. And that's what they forcing you to listen to. And you're going to listen to it. They're going to give you puppets. You're going to love them puppets. Oh, man. And then they're going to have the puppets talking about politics and all this other stuff. And guess what you're going to talk about? The same thing they talk about. The same nonsense they reference, that's what you're going to reference. Man, they got us sold up, don't they? Got us towed up, don't
they? Dangle that money in front of you. Dangle that so-called fame and success in front of you. Look, you somebody while you're destroying your people.
You know what's crazy? They would dangle that money in front of them, and they would have them promote things that they don't even like or that they wouldn't even give their own children.
Mm-hmm.
They'll promote things. Our people will promote things that they don't even want to. They will promote McDonald's and they don't want to feed McDonald's to their own children. They got private chefs. They got private chefs. They got gardens in the back of their house. They got farm to table, and they hey eat the Nicki Minaj burger meal. Eat the little baby Happy Meal. But meanwhile, they got personal chefs cooking their food and they got a garden in the back. That don't even make sense. Right? That's what they do. That's what they do. Okay? You finished 4?
Verse 4. No. Yeah, I'll finish.
Read one more time.
How shall we sing the Lord's song in a strange land?
How should we sing the Lord's song in a strange land? We ain't gonna let them humiliate us here. Let's make our people, they just stopped singing the Lord's song in a strange land so much they forgot that they was the Lord's. They forgot that they was the Lord's. And I'm telling you, so this captivity, this oppression, the psychological effects of it runs so deep. One way it runs deep is it removes who you are completely. It changes who you are completely. Doesn't oppression do that? But not only that, in oppression, they've given you something that has helped further destroy you. Give me Daniel chapter 1 and verse 6. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. Daniel's 1 and 6. They've given you something. And it's not a gift. They've given you something that has completely and utterly destroyed our people.
It's the book of Daniel, chapter 1 and verse 6. Now among these were of the children of Judah, Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, unto whom the prince of the eunuchs gave names.
Stop. What were their names before?
Judah.
Read them again. Read them again. What was their names again?
Now among these were of the children of Judah, Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah.
So their name was Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, right? That's what their names were. Come on.
Verse 7. Unto whom the prince of the eunuchs gave names.
So hold on. The names that they were given, the Hebrew names that they were given, the prince of the eunuchs said, nah, this is your name. Come on.
For he gave unto Daniel the name of Belteshazzar, and to Hananiah of Shadrach, and to Mishael of Meshach, and to Azariah of Abednego.
You know what's dangerous about that right there? Where our Hebrew names are stripped and replaced with Babylonian names. You know what happens? It further suppresses our identity. Because when we're in those lands, like when we're in Babylon and something is written about Shadrach, it's not readily known that it's talking about the children of Israel. They're going to be like, oh man, that's Shadrach.
Yeah.
They ain't gonna say, that's Hananiah. They ain't gonna equate that to Hananiah. They're gonna equate that to Shadrach, the Babylonian. So when we're looking at history, it makes it easier for them to suppress us historically if they change our names. If they say John Smith, it's easier to suppress John Smith because John Smith is an American, not a Hebrew, not an Israelite. Okay, not an Israelite. Y'all see that?
Yeah.
So that's dangerous. That's why we gotta subscribe to changing our names and like legally changing our names. So guess what? Nah, that's Kazakabar Israel right there. I don't know who that other nigga. I don't know who that other person was. That's Kazakabar. No, that's Nehemiah Israel. And the Bible tells us we need to surname ourselves Israel. We gotta change our name back. We know that these nations, they've given us these names. That's why the Muslims themselves, they put the X behind their name. They say Malcolm X. Okay? They put the X behind their surname, saying they're gonna X that thing out. That's not the right mindset. We know what the Bible says. The Bible says we gotta surname ourselves Israel. Okay? So we ain't throwing no X's. Okay, we throwing the Israel. All right. So under the Babylonian captivity, it was humiliation. It was much mockery. Okay. Under all captivities, it was humiliation. It was mockery. And under each one of those was assimilation. We assimilated to each one of those captivities, much like we do today. Okay? That's why we're so comfortable in this captivity. We've assimilated. We've made it a norm to work a 9 to 5 and be okay with that. We've made it a norm to suppress or not tell the family secrets. We made it a norm not to correct wickedness or madness amongst our people. We made it a norm to hate our people. So we assimilated to the way of the United States or to the way of the heathen. Right? Under the Greek oppression. That was a time of cultural erasure. That was a time of cultural erasure. Okay? Mercom made soldier. You steal cultures because you have none. Your ancestors were slaves. That's why I'm glad you said that. You are a perfect example of what we're talking about. We ain't got to steal nothing. It was stolen from us. We just reclaiming. Go back to Africa and don't work. Seems to be working out for them. Who came from Africa, you dummy? Huh? Who came from Africa? I'm tell you, these people are stupid, bruh. But they prove our point, right? Every time we make a point, a demon shows up to say, yeah, y'all right. Don't it? Every time a demon pops up, hey, yep, they're right. Go back to Africa. That's what we're talking about now. Clown. Greek oppression. Okay? Part of cultural erasure. Hellenization. We were Hellenized in the captivity, the Greek captivity. Okay? Under Antiochus Epiphanes. In what, 174, 175 BC? I think it was like 164 to 175 BC. We were forbidden to keep laws. We were forbidden to profess ourselves at all to be a Jew. We were forbidden to have our children circumcised. Okay? We were forbidden to keep the Sabbath. We were forbidden to worship in the temple. We were forbidden to do all those things. Why? So the psychological impact of the Israelites will begin to hide our heritage. Right? What's wrong, bro?
How are we gonna steal something and someone was forced on us? That don't make no sense. We were slaves. They forced us, bro. I just had to. Man,
it doesn't make sense. He said you steal cultures because you have none. We are the culture. We are culture. We were given. Listen. That's why it's books out there for I know Mark Can made soldier. I know you're illiterate. It's okay. You might can't read. We're talking about the psychological effects of the captivities and things that was pushed upon us or taught to us. In slavery, these things was taught to us. We didn't steal them. These things was ingrained in us so that we can act or think a certain way. So that we can have a shame of our own culture. So we would suppress who we are or what we truly are. We'll have Stockholm syndrome effect. Where we embrace the Greek customs. We embrace the Roman customs. We'll embrace the Egyptian customs or the Babylonian or Assyrian customs or Persian and Media customs. And we would do it to do what? To escape persecution. To not fit out, but fit in. To assimilate. To what they beat into us. To what they taught us. So how can you steal something that was beaten into your back? That's crazy. That's crazy. And that lets you know how demonic these people are. That lets you know how retarded these people are. Okay? It's trauma that comes with forced assimilation. The trauma that comes with forced assimilation is this. It's internalized self-hatred. We hate each other inside. We hate our own self. He's probably an Israelite. Probably hate himself. Okay? He hate that the word of God, the truth of God is coming out because of that trauma of forced assimilation, man. Listen, we couldn't keep the laws. We couldn't be who we were. If we were to be or act in regards to our customs, we were put to death. If we were to keep the custom that the Lord gave us, they would kill us. If we tried to read a damn book, they would cut your tongue out your mouth, hang you from a tree, burn you at the stake. What you got, bro?
Telling somebody that Deuteronomy 7:6 applies to you, to the blacks, Hispanic, Native Americans, no, that ain't me. It's like, what? It's like they cannot believe that. No, that definitely can't be me, because we think worse of our own selves.
Or the nation's looking like, nah, that definitely can't be them. That definitely can't be them, right?
Yeah.
Go to 1 Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 41. Let's get some more history. See, the cat out the bag now. Once you let the cat out the bag, you can't put it back in. Once you let the water out the dam, you can't put it back in the dam. And I know the nature's like, damn.
Should have never taught them to read.
Should have never let them read. Man, we should have never gave them no history. No, man, not them. In the short span of time that we were able to read, write, and get education, we done already caught up and surpassed them. They hate that. These cave dwellers hate it. They hate that you can read. They hate that you can articulate and make a clear point. They hate that you can speak and speak accurately about matters of history and document things and bring forth clarity in scriptures. They hate that. They wish that they kept you from reading, because they would have free labor, and you would love that free labor, because that's how they had our mindset. That's how they had our minds, man. So they mad. Go back to Africa and don't work. We built the whole earth. It's documented. What is it? What do you mean don't work? The nations are the ones that don't work or don't want to work. You think Pharaoh built his own damn pyramids, dummy? Huh? Come on, man. Come on now. You think America built America themselves? Come on. We built this place. Even your President Trump, the orange guy, said that.
Still building it now. I mean,
still building it. What are we talking about?
Don't work. They want us to have that mindset to think less of ourselves. That's what it is.
Yeah, you got the wrong one. American-made soldier. You talking to the wrong ones. You are talking to the wrong ones. Come on.
It's the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 1 and verse 41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people.
So, doesn't that sound familiar? Don't that sound familiar?
One nation under God.
One nation under God. That they make you pledge to. Come on.
Verse 42. And everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king.
So the heathen agreed, because guess what? They ain't got no damn laws. The heathen ain't got no laws. Come on.
Verse 43. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion.
Why did they consent to his religion? Assimilation. Assimilation. Forced assimilation. Trauma of that forced assimilation. Come on.
And sacrificing to idols and profaned the Sabbath.
Sacrificing unto who?
And sacrificing unto idols and profaned the Sabbath.
Sacrificing unto idols and profaning the Sabbath. A lot of our brothers and sisters subscribe to that. They said, nah, we're going to do that, because if we don't, they're going to kill us. Come on.
Verse 44. For the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, that they should follow the strange laws of the land.
So he sent letters that y'all gonna keep these commandments. Y'all gonna follow these laws here, much like they do today. Come on.
Verse 45. And forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple.
So they forbid us keeping our own customs. And what happened? You got fake so-called Jewish people behind people's houses in rural areas burning a damn lamb, a lamb on a crate.
Pallets.
On pallets. They back there trying to perform fake sacrifices on pallets. Come on, man. Talk about some. Hey, you gonna hire somebody to come and press the button for your elevator so you can go up to your top floor house because you can't press buttons on the Sabbath. Madness. Come on.
And that they should profane the Sabbath and festival days, and pollute the sanctuary and holy people.
So they will. The goal of this letter was that we will profane the Sabbath, profane everything that the Lord gave to us and made holy for us. Profane our own customs, our cultures that this bastard here say we stole. Come on.
Profane the day that he made a sign for us in God.
Exactly.
Verse 46, and pollute the sanctuary and holy people.
That was the point. To pollute the sanctuary and to pollute the holy people of God. That was the point. Read on.
Verse 47, set up altars and groves and chapels of idols and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts.
That's why you got the churches that you see today. And in each one of those churches, what they do when they have the after service meal, they got ribs and pork bologna sandwiches, all kinds of swines up in the pulpit.
Smothered pork chops.
Smothered pork chops and gravy. Come on.
That's 48. That they should also leave their children uncircumcised and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanity.
So they knew what would make us abominable. To the point where if they started this trend, what would happen? It'll be like the snowball effect. It'll start small, but after a while, their whole nation will be abominable. It'll start small, but after a while, they'll forget their true culture. They'll forget their true heritage, and they'll only see what we gave them. But there is a God. That God of Israel is our God. All praise to the Most High. Come on.
Verse 49. To the end they might forget the law and change all the ordinances.
That's the point. That you forget the law and change all the ordinances. Change all the ordinances. Come on.
Verse 50. And whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said he should die.
So he said, if anybody don't keep these commandments of the king, he's going to die. So the trauma of forced assimilation, we're going to internalize self-hatred. We're going to profane ourselves, make ourselves abominable. We're going to forget our heritage, forget our culture, right? To appease the king so that the king does not kill us. And a lot of our people subscribe to that. And a lot of our people, and all praise to the Most High, like we got books like The Unknown Catacombs and things of that nature. They would say that they were professing that garbage, but then they would go and they would keep the Sabbath in the catacombs. They would keep the feast days hidden in the catacombs or underneath the Colosseums and things of that nature, where it can be hidden from the sight of many, but it's seen in the sight of God. Okay, so that they can keep the commandments where they couldn't keep it openly. All right, give me 2 Maccabees 6:6 now. Let's get a little bit more on that. So again, we were Hellenized, we were Babylonianized, we were Romanized. We were all, listen. All these nations tried to do the same thing. The reason why we don't, why like people like this person right here don't see that we have a culture is because these things were stolen from us and we were taught or told something different. Come on.
It's the book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 6 and verse 6. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient feasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew.
It was unlawful to keep Sabbath days, holy feasts, or profess yourself at all to be a Jew. So what happened if you profess yourself to be a Jew during this time?
You should die.
The king said you should die. The king said death. Give him death. Kill him. You don't want to come and worship Bacchus? Kill him. Put him to death. Crucify him. Murder him. That's what they would say. Okay? Roman slavery, scattering of us amongst the four corners of the earth. Remember in 70 AD what happened? Remember what happened in 70 AD? With the Roman armies, they came through, they rushed in and enslaved millions of us. They destroyed Jerusalem. They scattered us into Africa, into Europe, and beyond. That's why this bastard right here don't know why we were in Africa. And while we were there, we stood out like a sore thumb. You want to know why? Because we still were keeping our laws in the midst of these ungodly heathens. They knew who we were. We knew who we were. Right? And when 70 AD rolled in, we weren't a people. We weren't in our own land. Okay? The nations that came and conquered us, the Romans in particular, they became us. They became us. What was the effect of that? From Africa, we dwelt amongst heathen, whereas we can't even atone for our sins. They destroyed our temple. When you look at it, when you think about it, those that Christ said, hey, if you in Jerusalem, flee, and if you out of there, don't go near it. Think about this. Now you like, oh man, my nation is gone. They done killed us all. We the only ones left. They gone forever. If you see the massive temple of God destroyed, you thinking, oh man, we done. We done for. We done. We're being crucified. There's public execution. I don't know if y'all know about the history in Rome. That was public executions regularly for fun. They were having fun killing us. They were crucifying us, not even just like the cross. They will make an X and crucify you like an X. And you know what's interesting about crucifixion? Being crucified. You want to hear an interesting anecdote about being crucified, brother? How do you think you die being crucified? How do you think you die?
Bleed out?
Nope.
Huh.
Nope. You would think that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, you sitting up all day, you just dripping all your blood out. At some point, your blood, you're gonna start to coagulate. Your blood gonna coagulate. It ain't gonna keep dripping. No, I did some studying. I did some things that the heathens don't want you to do. I did some reading. You know, when you get crucified, you die from asphyxiation. Did you know that?
Can't breathe.
You can't breathe. Your heart, you can't breathe right. That's how you die, asphyxiation.
Hey.
Well, so when y'all get a chance to do a study, listen, when you go and look up crucifixion, look at how your body reacts. And you don't die from blood loss. You die from asphyxiation. It's like you're suffocating. You can't breathe. You're breathing slowly over time until you stop breathing, until you give up the ghost. So they was doing this openly to make you an open shame, an open sepulcher. Okay? And this brought forth hopelessness. We thought our nation was gone. We thought the Lord wasn't going to restore us. We thought we was done for. Families torn apart. What if your mama was still in Jerusalem and you was somewhere else? Families just torn apart. Luke 21:24. Let's get a little bit. Asphyxiation, bruh. You said hanging. Nah, it's and I found it very interesting because I thought, me personally, I'm just being honest. Before I looked it up, before I kind of did a little research, I thought that, man, they must have bled out because no, as they're hanging there, their blood is not dripping continuously. It'll coagulate at some point, right? And they start to. It's like they can't breathe slowly but surely. It's like I can't explain. Y'all look it up. Y'all look it up. Luke 21:24.
It's the book of Luke, chapter 21 and verse 24. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled.
So Jerusalem, so we're going to be led away captive. We're going to be killed with the sword. And Jerusalem is going to be trodden down of the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. So who's going to be in the land of Jerusalem until that judgment day comes? Is it going to be us? Is it going to be us, Nechemiah?
Going to be us what?
In Jerusalem during this time?
No, it's going to be the Gentiles.
It's going to be the Gentiles, right?
Yeah.
So now when foolish people like Merrick handmade soldier, when foolish people like him see us say that we are the children of Israel, we fit the curses, we are the people of the Bible, we are the people of the book, because he see people sitting over in that land, what you think he gonna think?
That they the true Jews.
Oh, they're the people, and y'all are trying to steal their culture. You guys are trying to steal their culture. Go back to Africa. How we get there? We just read that. Right? How do we get there? See, that's why. Thank you for being a scoffer. Thank you. You just only solidified the point. That's it. I think the most I just sent scoffers to show people, listen, hey, that's a solid statement that the brother is making over there. Okay? That's a solid statement. Okay? Because remember in Deuteronomy 28, what happened? We're gonna be scattered amongst the people. We're gonna have no ease and no rest. No ease and no rest. So that happened. That happened. Okay. Then you get to the transatlantic. Well, it was the sub-Saharan slave trade initially, where the Africans and Arabs began to sell us into servitude, right? They sold us amongst each other into the white man, the so-called so-called white man or Edomites, right? And then there was the transatlantic slave trade, which brought forth generational trauma, where people assume, and you know what you do when you make assumptions, right? You make a purity, complete ass out of yourself when you make assumptions. So people like American made soldier, he made an assumption that we come from Africa, but we were sold from there because, again, we stuck out amongst the heathen like a sore thumb. So, huh?
You can read about that in that Joel 3.
You want to read it?
You want to read it? No, it's all right. Let's read it. It's the book of Joel, chapter 3 and verse 4. It says, yea, and what had ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coasts of Palestine? Will you render me a recompense if you recompense me swiftly and speedily will I return your recompense upon your own head? Because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried unto your temples my goodly pleasant things. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold into the Grecians, that ye might remove them from far from their borders. So Tyre and Zidon, man, Hamite nations, the Palestinians, all nations have had us captives, and they sold us to who? The Grecians. So it's much more than, see, they just think about the transatlantic slave trade. It's the sub-Saharan. The Hamites sold us into captivity. The Palestinians, all them people.
Right, because again, while we dwelt amongst them, we stood out. That's why you can look at some of their faces and you can say, oh man, they kind of look like so-called American black. They kind of look like, but then you see the rest of them, you're like, nah. No. Okay, so again, we know the history. We can read now, American. We can read now, okay? All right. So we know the history. So we had the sub-Saharan slave trade, then we had the transatlantic slave trade, both of which caused generational trauma or lasting psychological effects upon the children of Israel. You got to think about it. Many millions of our people, of all the 12 tribes, were taken from the west coast of Africa. That's why a lot of people foolishly believe we are Africans. African. Don't. You better stop it. Okay? And we was taken where? To North, Central, South America, to the Caribbeans, and to Europe. We was taken to the four corners of the earth, all over. We were branded. We were stripped. We were beaten. We were given cultures. We were given languages. Okay? The Northern Kingdom majority speaks Spanish because that's the language that they were given. That's the language of the Spaniards, their oppressors. Okay? It reduced us to property. Right? It bred in us self-hatred. We were forced to accept identities. That's Negro, that's Haitian, that's Dominican, that's Puerto Rican, that's Argentinian. We were forced to take those identities or accept those identities. Okay? And then and in that trauma, there's a fear of freedom. People say, well, how can this slaver enslave all these big buck Negroes? Fear of freedom. And we pass that trauma through generations. We pass that fear from generation to generation to generation. PTSD was known before PTSD was diagnosed. The making of a slave. All the atrocities that happened during the time of slavery in North, Central, South America, in the Caribbean, in Europe, in all these places that we were taken or tossed like a ball. PTSD was known before it was documented, before it was treated. And we're hated of all nations. We're hated of all nations. It's a perpetual racism amongst all nations upon this earth that are not of the 12 tribes of Israel. And damn it, is hatred amongst our own. Those are lasting psychological effects of this trauma. Those are lasting psychological effects. Okay? Give me Jeremiah 50 and 33. Which I need to understand something. And this for Northern and Southern Kingdom. This is for both of us. We need to give ear to this right here. Jeremiah 50 and 33.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50 and verse 33.
Because it's time for this separation. It's time for all this stuff to stop, man. Oh, this not the people. That's not the people. It's stop. We can read now. Listen, you can't spite my eyes no more. You can't lie to my eyes. I know what I've seen. You can't because you say something, it doesn't discredit what I've seen. And it won't discredit the truth. So we got to stop this garbage. Northern and Southern Kingdom. Jeremiah 50 and 33.
Thus said the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together.
They were oppressed how, brother?
Were oppressed together.
We were oppressed together. We were equally oppressed together. We went through captivities. We may have went through separate captivities sometimes, but we were oppressed together, especially over here. So I don't want to hear no more. If somebody asks, is Mexicans Israelites? You better they don't believe it. We were oppressed together. We're being oppressed right now together. Come on.
And all that took them captives held them fast.
Everyone that took us captive held us fast. They gave us culture. They gave us doctrine. They forced assimilation. And we have the trauma that's there behind it. Come on.
They refused to let them go.
And they refused to let them go. They refused to let us go. And no man shall save us. No man shall save us. And these nations, as they have us captive, as they torment us, as they mock us, what do? They rejoice over us. Where they God at? Where's their power going? Sing us one of them songs again that you used to sing in Zion, Israel. Sing them songs. Sing a song. Give me Obadiah chapter 1, verse 10. Look at this here. This is for Esau. Check this out. Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 10.
Let me get it. Book of Obadiah, chapter 1 and verse 10. For thy violence against thy brother, Jacob's shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever.
So for the violence against Jacob, it says shame shall cover Esau forever. He gonna be cut off forever. What that mean? To be cut off forever? What does it mean that you're going to be cut off forever?
Your protection is gonna not be there. Gonna be destroyed.
So if somebody say I'm gonna cut you off forever,
ain't no more help.
ain't no more life. When the Lord say He's gonna cut you off, you're gonna die. Read on.
Verse 11. In the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates, and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou wast as one of them. But thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother, in the day that he became a stranger. Neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction. Neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress.
So when we were made low, when we were being destroyed, what was Esau doing? Mocking us. Esau was mocking us. They were rejoicing over our downfall. So the Lord said, all right, you're going to be destroyed forever, bruh. You're going to be cut off forever. You shouldn't have, when you seen the children of Israel being destroyed, you shouldn't have rejoiced. You shouldn't have rejoiced. You shouldn't have been like them. You shouldn't have been on the other side with them. And that right there, look, that hatred is still shown forth today. That hatred of us being destroyed is still there. The hatred of us having the worst neighborhoods and them mocking, oh, that's the ghetto. That's the, you know what I'm saying? That's still there. Them snubbing their nose up at you. Seeing us oppress ourselves. They love that. They absolutely love that. Okay? And the lasting scars from this hatred, not just from Esau, but from all nations, is what? Stockholm Syndrome. That's a mental defect. People love their oppressor, don't they? They absolutely love their oppressor. I've seen people show more love to the heathen than they do to their own children, than they do to their own wife or to their own husband. Stockholm Syndrome, for those that don't know, is when captives begin to sympathize with or even love their oppressor. And you know what's crazy about Stockholm Syndrome? It's a survival mechanism. Much like assimilating yourselves to profane or making yourself abominable, as we read earlier. Those are coping mechanisms, survival mechanisms, so that you don't die, right? Psychologically, the captive adapts by identifying with the one inflicting harm or afflicting shame. So a lot of our people, they identify with us being destroyed as a people and loving it like Esau. Why? Because it's a survival mechanism. And this lines right up with how the children of Israel have historically related to the nations that enslaved us or that oppressed us, that dashed our children into rocks, beat our old men and our young men, hung us up, crucified us, murdered us, destroyed us. Instead of rejecting oppression, what our people do? What do many of our Israelite brothers and sisters do? They embrace the oppression. They embrace it. They defend it. They defend it. They will speak out against you. They'll stand on this side of oppression and speak out against you if you're telling them that they're oppressed. They will go against you worse than the doggone oppressor themselves. Us being in the wilderness. Remember in Egypt? We were free, wasn't we?
Mm-mm.
Huh?
In Egypt?
Yeah, when we was in the wilderness.
Oh, in the wilderness. Yeah.
Yeah, we were coming out of Egypt. We were still over in that land. We were free, weren't we? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Even though Egypt oppressed us, even though we served with rigor and hard bondage, what do? We wanted to go back.
Yep.
We wanted to go back. That right there is a clear example of what? Stockholm Syndrome. We built the psychological dependence. We built a dependence that was deeply within us that we wanted to return to Egypt at all costs. We wanted to forsake God to return to Egypt at all costs. You know, I've seen that amongst Israelite brothers and sisters. I've seen that amongst Israelite brothers and sisters. People will be oppressed. They will leave or flee that oppression, and they will die to get back to their oppressor. Amongst Israelite brothers and sisters, I've seen that. I'm talking about they would stab you on your back. They would slit your throat to get back sometimes to oppression. That's madness to me. That's crazy. Okay. But when you read Numbers 14 and 2, read that for me. Moses ain't trying to do nothing but get them up out of harm's way. He ain't trying to do nothing but help them get the clear understanding that the Lord has given him to bring to the people. And what did the people do?
It's the book of Numbers, chapter 14 and verse 2. And all the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron.
No, just the old folks.
And all the children of Israel.
So all the children of Israel murmured. All the children of Israel murmured. See, people like to just say, only the first generation was wicked. Read that one more time.
And all the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron.
All the children of Israel murmured. Not just some. Come on.
And the whole congregation said unto them.
It says all the people murmur. Then it says in the whole congregation, just in case you're confused. It says in the whole congregation. The whole congregation, not just the first generation, the whole congregation. Come on.
And the whole congregation said unto them, would God that we had died in the land of Egypt, or would God we had died in this wilderness? And wherefore hath the Lord brought us into this land, to fall by the sword, that our wives and our children should be a prey? Were it not better for us to return into Egypt? And they said one to another, let us make a captain, and let us return unto Egypt.
Let us make a captain, and let us return unto Egypt. You see we built a psychological dependence in Egypt. So much so that the Lord had freed us. We had freedom here. They said, nah, man, you brought us out into this wilderness. We don't know where we're going. We don't know what's going on. They murmured. And then they said, let us make us a captain to lead us back into Egypt. Back into bondage. Back into servitude. That's the mindset of our people. And anytime there's anything that's uncomfortable that's going on amongst our people, they would rather go back to oppression or go back to that thing that they've learned or we've learned for so many years, rather than go against those things and do the will of the Lord. From there, you got something, bro?
No.
From there, let's go to 1 Samuel chapter 8. So coming up, in the midst of our freedom, what happened? Well, brothers and sisters, we were free men and women. We are free. Yes, we were. And in our freedom, the Lord God had given us leaders to guide us. But that wasn't good enough. No, that wasn't good. That was not good enough. So what happened? Instead of trusting in our Lord, our God, our power, what do? Nah, we want to be ruled like the heathens, man. Matter of fact, we want a king like the heathens. Remember how they just said, let us make us a captain and go back to Egypt? No, man, no. Hey, look, I like how this king, man, he got all them peasants around him. He got a big old palace and all this. We need that. We need that right there. Give me 1 Samuel 8,
So
verse 5.
1 Samuel chapter 8 and verse 5. And said unto him, Behold, thou art old, and thy sons walk not in thy ways. Now make us a king to judge us like all the nations.
Make us a king. Samuel, make us a king to judge us like the nations do. Yeah, make us a king like them. You getting old, bruh. Make us a king. And then, his children, his son gonna be king after him. And then, like that. Make us a king. Come on.
Verse 6. But the thing displeased Samuel when they said, Give us a king to judge us. And Samuel prayed unto the Lord. And the Lord said unto Samuel, Hearken unto the voice of the people in all that they say unto thee.
So Samuel was upset. He wasn't with that. Because he knew the King of Kings. He knew our Lord. He said, nah, I know the God that I serve. But y'all got to realize something. Everybody don't have the same relationship with the Most High in Christ like you do. So they don't really understand the relationship. So them asking for a king, they didn't have that close relationship. They didn't know, or they didn't feel the true strength of the relationship from the Lord and Samuel. They didn't feel that relationship. So they wanted one that they could feel. And they asked for that thing, and they got it, right? Boy, did they get it. And we got it so bad that when the king, when the king was established, was he the best king we ever seen? Was he like the King of Kings?
No.
Oh, he was the worst. One that we couldn't trust because he was a man, right? One that we couldn't trust. We'll finish that up for me.
For they have not rejected thee, but they have rejected me, that I should not reign over them.
So they didn't reject you, Samuel. They rejected the Lord. And our people wanting to assimilate, that's what they do. They reject the Lord. We reject the Lord. Okay? That's one of the psychological effects of captivity, of oppression, okay, and of assimilation. From there, let's go to 1 Maccabees chapter 1. Again, we embrace the Greek ways. Matter of fact, I seen a brother who used to keep the commandments. He don't keep them no more. Instead of having a beard, you see, he took it right here and lined it up around his chin. What they call it, chin strap?
Chin strap?
Yeah, man, he rocking a chin strap now. I said, damn, bro, you got a nice beard too. Righteous beard. This brother rocking a chin strap. Okay, that's what you want. Okay. But our people love to embrace the customs or ways of the oppressor, man. Okay. Our people will mutilate themselves for the oppressor. They will sacrifice their body for the oppressor. Listen, I've seen dudes, they'll play them sports in them gymnasiums, one finger going this way. You seen them old basketball players and football players, they fingers like this, stuck. They can't even pick a cup up. They pick a cup like this. They gotta pick a cup up like that. They fingers pointing the wrong direction, man. They will mutilate their body to uphold the covenant they have with the nations. 1 Maccabees 1:11.
It's the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 1 and verse 11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, Let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are around about us.
So it was men amongst Israel that said, yo, let's go make a covenant with them. Remember, we can't profess ourselves to be a Jew. We can't keep none of our customs, none of our feasts. We might as well make a covenant with them. Might as well, right? Okay, come on.
Saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have much sorrow.
Since we departed from them, we've been getting jacked up. Doesn't that sound familiar? Like when we came out of Egypt, oh, we got to go back. Come on.
Verse 12. So this device pleased them well. Then certain other people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinance of the heathen. Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem, according to the customs of the heathen, and made themselves uncircumcised, and forsook the holy covenant, and joined themselves to the heathen, and were sold to do mischief.
They were sold to do mischief. They joined themselves to the heathen, and they did exactly what that's why they said, that's why they're saying, come when in Rome, do as the Romans. Right? What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. That's the modern day equivalent to it. Our people, they embrace the ways of the heathen, embrace the customs of the heathen, and defile themselves, and they were good about it. Okay, and what was crazy about it, that's classic Stockholm syndrome in the sense that they're trying to please their oppressor at the cost of their what? Their own identity, at the cost of their own culture, at the cost. And our people, our culture don't mean nothing to us like the birthright meant to Esau. Y'all, you following?
Yeah, they give it up quick for anything, huh?
Hey, they give it quick for whoever, whenever, and however. Okay, instead of clinging and staying firm to the Most High, we would constantly chase after other gods, other customs, other idols, trimming our ways to seek the love of the heathen. We would adjust ourselves for the love of our captors. Okay, and those have psychological and spiritual effects, man. Stockholm syndrome in Israel, the effect is us, adopting to their culture, to their religions, dressing just like the nations, talking and speaking and acting just like the nations. Okay, defending the oppressor, all the while standing against their own that are being oppressed, just to protect foreign interests. That's crazy, right? And another thing our people do is reject deliverance. They don't want deliverance. They love their captivity. They like Stephen. They're like Stephen off Django. They love their captivity. They get a little. Don't let them get a little power in this captivity. Woo, woo! Don't let them get that, man. They Stephen to the max, right? Don't give them a little bit of power, because they're gonna choose captivity over freedom each and every time. And Django said something in that movie. He said that you've seen thousands of our people come through here. Thousands. And he was good with the oppression of each and every one. Okay with the oppression of each and every one. That's that self-hatred that will allow you to deny your own heritage. It'll allow you to embrace titles and embrace labels given to you by your enemies, your oppressor. Changing your name from Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael to Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Proudly wearing the names Black, Hispanic, Latino, African American. Proudly wearing them things. Puerto Rican, waving the flag. And a lot of our people, what y'all gonna find, man, they're gonna defend the same system that's enslaved us politically, religiously, spiritually, culturally, while going against and scoffing the laws of the Most High God. Y'all gonna see that. We witnessed it today, right? Even celebrating holidays of the oppressors. Christmas, 4th of July, he was in chains. Thanksgiving, the killing of your own, while ignoring the holy days of the Most High, Leviticus 23. People don't care about that. So these are the lasting psychological effects, man. I keep going and going, but I'm gonna end it right there. Any questions before we close out? Or you got anything you want to add?
Praise to the Most High, man. We got a long way to go, bro. Got some work to do. Cause
Might do a part 2. I left a lot of meat on that bone, didn't I? We'll finish up with part 2 of this. Part 2 of this on Thursday's class. We'll do that. Any questions before we close out? Somebody said blah 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 blah. Okay. I hear you blah blah.
Our people can have something read to them out the Bible, and they will not believe it. They don't believe in the Bible. That's the thing. Our people do not believe in the Bible, man. That's what I'm realizing.
Not at all. All right, family. That's all we got for today's class. If y'all got any questions, y'all can send them to info@heirsofisrael.org, or you can send them through to the website at www.heirsofisrael.org. All right. Glad you enjoyed, sis. All praise to the Most High. I seen your message today too. I looked at that. My apologies. Yeah, Sunday class. We're gonna forego Sunday class for the time being until we to be restructured a little bit. All right. So our classes are Tuesday and Thursday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. And then we're gonna have the Sabbath class at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. All right. So Tuesday and Thursday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Sunday, Sabbath class on Saturday, the 7th day, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. All right. That's all we got for today. Lord's will, class is edifying. You brothers and sisters receive some understanding. We're gonna continue on with this topic. Just do part 2 coming up this Thursday. All right, because we got a lot more. I left a lot more on the bone. A lot more scriptures that we got. So all praise to the Most High. But all right, brothers and sisters, Lord's will catch y'all on Thursday's class of life lasting the Lord allow. Until then. Shalom, peace and blessings.